could you do this to me, May? Like, seriously, what the heck is your deal? How can you be getting married today if you haven't even sent me an invitation to it? How many years have we known each other? I'm really hurt over this. I can't believe you would do this to me. Wait a second, Val. I am so confused. I'm talking about how I heard you got engaged and waited and waited and waited for my invitation to your wedding. But I got nothing. Why didn't you invite me to your wedding? Did I do something to you? Just what are you upset about right now? Have you ever been reading my messages? You know exactly why I'm so upset right now. Just tell me all your other friends got invitations to go, but not me. But I did send you an invitation, and you said that you wouldn't be able to come. What are you talking about, May? I mean that I really did send you an invitation. I know it. But right after I sent it, I got your response, and you said that you wouldn't be able to attend on the day of our wedding. So I really don't understand why you're acting so upset over this right now. No, I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about with that response. I never said that. Besides, I never even got an invitation to your wedding in the first place. I'm sorry, but I'm really confused right now, because I definitely remember sending one to you. I remember you were one of the first people to respond after we sent all the cards out. Are you sure that you just don't remember responding to the RSVP? I don't remember anything, and I certainly don't remember getting an invitation, much less submitting a response. Besides, there is no way that I would ever miss out on one of my oldest friends getting married, so I'm just as confused as you are. What the heck is going on here? Well, I'm really sorry, but I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of it now. I feel really bad for even asking like this, but do you think you could still come and make it in time? The wedding is all ready, but there is still the reception dinner, and we'd love to have you here. No, I'm afraid that I couldn't even make it there if I wanted to. I had no idea your wedding was happening today, and so I ended up planning a trip for this weekend. I'm in Alaska right now. Hold on a second. You're all the way up in Alaska? Yeah, my boyfriend and I wanted to visit here for our anniversary. I've posted a couple stories about it on Insta if you want to go and see for yourself. I've been watching our friends post things from your wedding too, actually. I didn't even know your wedding was happening today until I saw you show up in one of those stories, and I realized it was your wedding everyone was at. Well, there's no way you'd be able to come here in time if you're traveling down from Alaska. But anyways, you have other important plans going on right now. I'm really sorry that there was some kind of mix-up, but I hope that you can still enjoy your anniversary weekend. And then maybe when things settle down here, we can go out and grab a bite, just you and I. I would really like that, actually, May. I'm sorry we can't really do anything to fix this right now, but I'll reach out to you once I'm back in town, okay? And then maybe we can talk this out and try and figure out what exactly happened to my invitation. Of course, Val. We have to do that. You're one of my oldest and best friends, and I'm so sorry that you didn't end up getting your invitation. I just hope that you still trust that I really did send one to you.
Hey, long time no talk. I heard all about how your wedding pretty much fell apart in front of everyone's eyes. And to think you probably put so much work into planning for it, and it all turned to nothing.
Wait, is this Ben? And just why does my ex-boyfriend know that I was getting married today?
Oh, let's just say that I heard it through the grapevine. About how you were getting married, and then how the whole ceremony fell apart. Besides, you're still an ex of mine, and I had feelings for you once, so it hurt me so much to find out about what a sad, sad mess your wedding turned into.
I seriously have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking about how your best and oldest friend wasn't able to make it there for you. Not only that, but all your other friends canceled at the very last minute, didn't they? But that's because they all got the date and location completely wrong. Man, I would have loved to see the look on your face.
I don't even know what to say to all of this, Ben.
Oh, you don't have to say anything, since I already know it all. You had a grand total of 0 guests on your side of the wedding. That's the saddest marriage that I've ever heard of. Oh, you must have been crying the whole time. You probably had makeup streaming down your dress. Oh, don't worry, though. I would have let you cry on my chest.
I don't need your chest to cry on, thank you very much. And if you really want to know, my wedding went off perfectly fine and with minimal problems. Not only that, but most of my friends were able to make it, and we all had a good time.
Wait, what? A lot of your friends were able to make it. You serious? I thought that everyone canceled last minute on you.
No, I'm sorry to disappoint, but there were no last-minute cancellations from anybody. Which begs the question, just why do you think that my wedding went the way you've described? I'm assuming you've heard this through some friend of yours, but they got their facts way off, so you have no idea what you're talking about.
Wait, no, this can't be right.
Unless you had something to do with trying to ruin my wedding and that's why you think all of this happened. But if you must know, I got plenty of responses from my friends saying that they could all come. Although some of them did tell me that after getting their invitation, they got an email saying that the time and location for the wedding had changed. But apparently a lot of them doubted whether I was really the one who sent that.
What do you mean? Why'd they question an email like that?
Well, everyone agreed that the writing was in my voice, but it was from an email address that I had never used before, and it raised suspicions. Thankfully, I have a lot of sharp friends who caught that and basically told everyone else about the mistake. And in the end, everyone agreed to ignore it.
Are you kidding me? So you mean that fake email didn't manage to fool a single person?
The way you're reacting to all of this, one might think that you were the one who sent that email out, Ben. You must have known that my husband and I were so busy with the wedding plan that we didn't have any time to spare looking for who the culprit behind the email was. But the issue ended up resolving itself. And now the criminal has come forward and all but admitted what they did.
Ah, crap. This is really bad. I was hoping to at least knock out a couple dozen people from going to that. I can't believe I didn't manage to get a single person not to go.
What is the matter with you, Ben? Why would you try and do something like this to me? Do you realize how badly things could have gone for me if my friends hadn't picked up on what you were doing?
It was kind of the whole point, May. I wanted to ruin the wedding of the girl who dumped me. It isn't fair. Why do you get to have a happily ever after, huh?
Are you kidding me with this right now, Ben?
You know, I've always been thinking of how I could win you back over, make you mine again. You've always just shot me down at every attempt, and even started seeing other guys. And to top it all off, you go and get married. Well, that's when I knew that I had no choice but to make sure it was one of the worst days of your life.
Ben, you have got to give it a rest! I already explained this to you when we broke up. I left you because we were always fighting about the same stupid things. I've told you this every time you've tried to get back together with me. But I was always serious about breaking up with you, and if you didn't realize that, then I'm sorry. But you have seriously just got to give this a rest. I've tried being patient with you, but this is taking it too far.
Oh, just shut up. What do you know, huh? You were dating someone just 1 month after you and I broke up. I bet you were cheating on me then. I bet you're cheating on your husband now. I bet your husband was the guy that you left me for in the first place.
First of all, you will not insult my new husband. Get it? You and I broke up, and your say in my life ended there. Got it?
No, that's not true. You just don't see it how I do yet. But I can give you more than anyone else could. That's why I pretended to be you and changed the date and time of your wedding. And that's why I pretended to be your best friend Val and tell you that I wasn't going to your wedding.
Wait a second. Just how are you doing all of this to begin with? I mean, I get making a fake email and writing something that sounds like me, but how did you steal Val's invitation?
Oh, that's quite simple, actually. You see, Val and I are going out right now. We're always going over to each other's places to hang out. When I happened to see an especially fancy-looking letter from you in her mail, I did assume it was her wedding invitation.
Wait, are you serious? Are you two really going out right now?
That's right, I couldn't stand the fact that you're out seeing men who weren't me. So to get back, I started to go out with your best friend. This is what you get for thinking you could get rid of me so easily.
I don't even know what to say right now, Ben. You're crazy.
I'm only doing what I'm doing because you never cared about my feelings for you. And then to get engaged so soon after we broke up. The moment I heard you were getting married, I was like this whole plan popped into my head, fully formed. I knew it would be my best shot at ruining your whole wedding. Sure, it might have made you mad at me for a little bit, but I know in the end you would have forgiven me and understood when I offered you a shoulder to cry on.
I don't believe it. And so that's the whole reason why you're going out with Val now too? Just to get to me?
If it's your friend that you're worried about, then don't. I was only ever using her from the start, but I had no idea just how much you care for her. I had no idea just what a good person she was to have around. Did you know that she makes more than I do? Not only that, she seems the type to be very generous to people she cares about.
I don't get it. What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that I may have gotten close to Val as a means to keep a close eye on you while I was trying to ruin your wedding. In the process, I ended up getting this pretty rich girl to go out with me instead. Which makes me your best friend's new boyfriend. Nice to meet you. Don't worry, though. I would never want to get with a lousy girl who runs around the way you do. Too bad my plan failed, but I still win in the end.
You know what? I have had just about enough of this. I want to break up with you right now, Bed.
Wait, what? I don't get what you mean by that, May.
I seriously had no idea that you were one of May's exes. And to think that you never even really liked me. You were just always wanting to use me. How could I ever trust a guy like you? Not only that, but now I learned that it's all your fault I missed out on going to May's wedding? I wish I never met you, Benjamin.
Wait a second, is this... Am I talking to Val right now? Nice try, but I know that Val's up in Alaska right now. We're up here celebrating our anniversary, haven't you heard?
I'm sorry, Ben, but I snuck away from you and went back home. In fact, I actually just barely managed to make it to the wedding reception when I left.
Wait, what? What do you mean? What's going on here?
I showed up really, really late, and there wasn't much time left before everyone went home, but I still made it. And I was still able to help my best friend celebrate her wedding. So in the end, I was still able to tell May congratulations in person.
This doesn't make any sense. How could you sneak out in time to go to the wedding when you were just beside me? Do you have super speed or something? How'd you get from Alaska to Cincinnati in a matter of seconds?
So I take that to mean that you really didn't even notice it while I was again. I'm not surprised, though. I think you've spent more time on your phone than you have talking to me on this trip. You thought I was by your side this whole time.
But how could you leave me behind like that? I thought we were here to celebrate our anniversary together.
Oh, please, don't act like you didn't suggest going on this trip just so you could try and distract me from May's wedding. You were just trying to draw my attention elsewhere, weren't you? And that's probably why you were on your phone for so long, too. You were just coordinating this little scheme against May. Do you seriously think I'm just going to pretend like I don't know any of that and go back to enjoying the trip?
Okay, right. I have been on my phone a lot, and I'm really sorry about that. But I wasn't trying to distract you from anything. This anniversary trip isn't just part of some larger lie. I really did want to go on this trip and celebrate 1 full year of being together. How could you just leave me all alone here?
So you really wanted to try and make this a memorable anniversary for me? Because it was one of the worst that I've ever experienced in my entire life. I mean, you had nothing planned, and we've barely even left our hotel this whole time. Why wouldn't I want to go home after that?
Wait, you weren't having any fun at all? But I brought you here because I thought that you'd like it. I don't get it. What's making you act like this?
Did you really think I would be happy just because you took me to some place? You can't just drag me to a new place, be on your phone all the time, and expect me to be happy. I wanted to be doing activities, going out to see sights. I was really excited to do this with you until I found out you had no intention of taking me to do anything while we were there.
But I mean, well, how would I know?
Well, I tried giving you suggestions or hints or places where I might want to go, but you kept blowing me off until it was time to get on the plane. And you never invited me to make any of the plans with you. You said you would handle everything, and then you just went straight back to being on your phone. We didn't even have a hotel booked until we were just about to board the plane. Do you really think that sounds like a fun trip for everyone?
But I just, well, I don't like being tied down with a plan or anything like that. I'm more of a go-with-the-flow kind of traveler.
I might be happy to hear that if there was any flow. But you're still just a body of water who flew from one end of the country to the other to just sit and do nothing. Is it going with the flow to not even know where you'll be staying until the night before you arrive in a place? We're not backpacking or anything like that. This was supposed to be a nice anniversary trip. I can't believe I wasted so much time with you. And on top of all that, you're the reason why I wasn't able to help my friend celebrate her wedding.
I mean, you're still the one that left me to go all the way back to her.
That's because I was having a terrible time with you, Ben. And besides, you were just using me the whole time. You're a terrible boyfriend and a sad excuse of a man.
Wait, Val, please. Can't we just talk this out? It's true that at first I only got with you to get back in May. Then I realized what a great girl you really were, and I knew that I needed to be with you.
Well, I don't like you, so tough luck and goodbye, jerk.
Please don't act like this.
You dragged me all the way to Alaska with no intention to do anything but text May mean things all day while you ignored me. If you can't see why I'm leaving you, then I'm sorry, but that's on you at that point.
What do you mean? This isn't fair. I really do like you.
Well, I don't, and I've made up my mind about you. Now, goodbye, Ben.
May, please, you have to help me out here. Val left me. It's all your fault.
Excuse me? Are you seriously trying to put all of this on me? You're the one who lied to her and used her for a stupid revenge plot.
Just shut up and take me back. Really is the least you could do for me.
Please tell me that you're not serious about that. Besides, I literally got married yesterday. I'm already someone's wife, and I won't be taking anyone back.
Well, then at least send me some money, please. I don't have enough to get back from Alaska.
What do you mean? Didn't you buy a round-trip ticket?
No, I didn't. I figured the tickets might be cheaper if I got them at the last minute, so I only got a one-way here. But all the return flights are super pricey, and I can't afford any of them. I don't have money for anything.
Sounds to me like you've got a long walk ahead of you, then.
A walk? Then I'd have to go through Canada.
That's right, huh? Well, I hope you brought your passport. Otherwise, you had better go ask your parents for money.
But they're already so mad at me for other things, I can't go and do that.
Oh, right. Well, good luck with your new life up in Alaska.
Hey, can you at least tell Val that I'm stuck here and need help getting back home?
Why don't you go and tell her yourself?
Well, I tried calling her, but everything goes straight to voicemail, and none of my messages are coming up as read.
Oh, well, then it sounds to me like you should probably just give it up. Besides, I think she met someone new at my wedding reception and has been talking to him a lot recently.
Wait, you mean that Val's already found someone else? But we barely even broke. How could she do that to me? And how am I gonna get home, please? You have to help me.
In the end, Ben called his parents and begged for their help and was finally able to get a flight home. After that, however, they said that they never wanted to hear from Ben again. Feeling betrayed and all alone, things only got worse as upon his return, everyone in my social circle knew that Ben was the person who tried to sabotage my wedding. As for Val, she really hit it off with this new person she met, and soon they're going on their own anniversary trip. I really like this new guy, and we've managed to go on some double dates with my husband. Now, I'm looking forward to the day when I can be there for Val on her wedding.
Hey there, Emma. I just wanted to let you know that I found that lunch that I made for you in the trash. Was there something wrong with what I cooked?
You mean that steaming pile of garbage you left on the counter for me? I'm going to be eating the school lunches from here on out. I don't ever want to have to taste your awful cooking again.
I don't understand what's gotten into you. I got up early just to make you your favorite. I know that you said you had a big meeting today, so I wanted to pack you something that you'd really like.
Ew! Don't ever say anything like that to me ever again. And just what are you trying to pull here anyways? You know we're not even related by blood, so I don't need you pretending to be my mom when we both know that you're not.
Emma, honestly, why are you acting this way towards me? I don't know what I did to you to deserve this kind of language. Why are you talking to me like this all of a sudden?
Oh, just shut up already, you stupid old hag. All the meddling you're doing is just negatively affecting me at work. I can't even focus now because I didn't have lunch at all, because it would mean I would have to force down your nasty slop.
That's not fair at all. I'm sure that there were other options you could have gotten to eat.
But it's not just the food, it's your whole existence that's ruining everything for me. And it's all your fault that I wasn't chosen to work on that big project for my job.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, the meeting yesterday was about presenting proposals for our now product line we're releasing for Mother's Day. I worked on my ideas for 6 whole months, but my bosses went with another person's designs. If you were a better mother, then I would have to know how to appeal to moms better.
Well, I'm sure you worked very hard, and I'm sorry that your idea wasn't picked, but you can't really think that it's my fault, right?
And just what is that supposed to mean? I know that my ideas were perfect, and the other girl who presented looked like she had just thrown her proposal together the day before. So what I want to know is why wasn't mine picked? And the answer is because I don't have a real mom.
What do you mean by that?
Well, this new line was meant to market to moms, but I bet people in the office knew that I didn't have a mom. And so even though I had a great idea, I wasn't chosen. It's all your fault. If you weren't in my life, then people wouldn't have panned my project.
Emma, please just calm down for a little and think this through. I know the feeling of not having your idea chosen. It can hurt your pride and sting you, but blaming other people isn't going to solve anything.
Just shut up already, you annoying witch. Why did I have to end up with you as a mom? Where's my real mom? Why isn't she here? I wish you were still here instead of you. You ruined my chances of ever moving up the company just by existing. Now this little nobody with half-ass ideas is going to get all the credit I should have.
Emma, please just listen to yourself.
No! You ruined everything! I had a plan all worked out and you blew it up. And also, your cooking stinks. I never want you to cook anything for me ever again. Oh, Carly, are you there? I just heard that my daughter is engaged to be married, and I just have to know it's true. Because I heard that she's going to be marrying some higher-up who happens to work for a huge company. So basically, my little girl struck it rich. I couldn't be more proud.
Wait a second, you've heard that Emma's going to be getting married? I haven't heard anything like that at all.
You mean that you two live in the same house and you didn't even know that she was getting married? Just what kind of mother are you anyways? I mean, this is huge news. And you're hearing about it through me? Her real mother?
But I'm still so confused.
Well, I suppose that means you haven't heard about the news from Emma yourself then. And I have no idea how to get a hold of her either. But I just heard rumors that she was getting married. That's the whole reason I'm messaging you in the first place.
Well, I suppose that I can just go and ask Emma myself. And just to be clear, you are nothing to Emma, remember? So while I'm grateful to you for sharing this news to me, I'm going to stop responding to you now.
Hold on just a second. We're not through here. You can't just take what I gave you and run off like that.
And just what more is there to talk about? You've told me what you heard and I said thank you, but Emma still thinks that you're dead.
You really are a terrible mother. Do you know that? I still don't get how you could tell a daughter that her real mother is dead when I'm right here.
Excuse me? The only horrible mother here is you, Sadie. Do you have any idea how much you've put your poor husband and Emma through? The whole reason Emma thinks you're dead in the first place is because Doug and I talked and agreed that it would be easier that way.
Oh, yes. I'm always the bad guy, aren't I? I'm literally the worst mother in the world. But I still have my ways of getting information when I want it. Like, through some Doug's old co-workers, or old teachers from school that Emma went to. And I still haven't forgotten how you two sued me for spending all the money Doug and I had set away from Emma's education. I was pretty wild back then, wasn't I?
If you realize that, then please understand why we never want anything to do with you ever again. And that includes Emma.
Well, I'm afraid that you and I are just going to have to agree to disagree on this one. Because while I can admit that I'm a horrible mother, the fact of the matter is, I'm still Emma's mother. And what that means is that I want to get half of all the money Emma gets on her wedding day.
Wait a second, you're trying to take money from your own daughter's wedding?
That's right. I'm the girl's mother, and that means what is hers is mine. So I should get my fair share. I need money to pay back this latest lawsuit what I'm dealing with.
Let me guess, you cheated on another married man.
Well, this one wasn't my fault. The guy said that we would get married. He told me that things with his wife weren't going so good, but it was still taking too long for me. So I called his wife and told her to hurry up and leave her husband. But then, after they got divorced, the man told me that I blew up his life and left me.
And then the wife sued the two of you for the affair? Well, you can't pretend like that's anyone else's fault but your own. But how could you even think to want to use your own daughter's wedding money to pay off your debts?
Well, if you don't want to make Emma pay, then I have another idea. You can pay off all my debts in Emma's place. I think about $20,000 should do it.
I'm sorry, but no one is under any obligation to give you any money, and you have no idea what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? I kept my existence a secret from my daughter for 20 years. Do you think I'm going to keep doing that for free? Now, do you want to write a check or send it over an app?
Hey, Emma, I'm really sorry to bother you while you're at work, but we have something important we need to talk about.
Can you not leave me alone for a whole day? What could you possibly want now? You've already ruined my chances with the Mother's Day proposal, and now I have more work that I have to do.
Again, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're so busy, but you just never talk to me at home. There was something that I needed to ask you. Are you engaged to be married?
Wait, what? How did you figure that out? Who told you? I haven't even told my dad that I'm engaged to this guy, so how did you figure it out?
Emma, why wouldn't you tell your father and I that you were getting married? This is huge, amazing news and something to be happy about. Although I would have loved to hear the good news from you yourself.
Shut up, you nosy old woman. I was never ever going to tell you about my wedding, ever. But I guess somehow someone let the secret out and told you.
What do you mean you were never going to tell me? This is huge news. Why wouldn't you tell your parents this?
What did you just say? How many times do I have to tell you that we are not related? You are not my mom, and you need to stop trying to act like you are. You're just a faker, a phony. You're not my mom.
Of course I'm your mom. Who was it that raised you for the past 20 years, huh?
What do you want, a medal or something? You're nothing but an over-glorified babysitter to me. I will never ever think of you as my mother.
Emma, why are you acting like this?
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, I may as well tell you everything. I'm going to be marrying someone from my work. He works in the upper management of my company, and we've been going out basically since I started this. And not that long ago, he proposed to me.
I had no idea that you were even dating anyone at all.
Well, my fiancé's family is very rich and powerful, and they have a bunch of rich and powerful friends too. So, I didn't want you getting involved since I know that you'd ruin it for me like you do everything else, and that's why I didn't say anything.
How can you say that I would ruin this for you? And do you really even think being related by blood matters that much? It doesn't change the fact that I was the only one raising you alongside your father. It doesn't erase all the past times we've had together as mother and daughter.
What times were those again? I can't seem to remember anything right now. All I remember is how many times you've gotten in my way. It's no wonder I hate you so much.
Emma, how can you speak to me like this?
And you better believe that I'm not going to invite you to the wedding. I'm only going to invite my dad. But there's no way I'm going to have my make-believe mom there.
What did you just call me?
I don't get why you're trying to talk to me like that. You know I don't think of you as my mom. Instead, I'm going to save a seat for my real mother, who'll be watching me getting married from above.
Are you really sure you want to do that? Do you really think of me so little as your mother that you wouldn't even invite me to your wedding?
You are never going to know any detail about it, Carly. So don't bother snooping around for any info on it. The only mom of mine I want there is my real mom.
Well, if that's really what you want, I can just invite her for you then.
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't need to leave an empty seat for her because she can actually just come and sit there instead. I mean it, I'll tell her that you want her there at your wedding. I'm sure she'll be overjoyed.
Wait a second. What are you saying? Are you trying to tell me that my mom is still alive? But you and Dad always told me that she died in a car accident when I was just a baby.
That's right, we did, but that was a lie that your dad and I agreed would be better to tell you. Truth is that your parents divorced when you were very little and we thought you wouldn't understand, so instead we told you that your birth mother was dead.
But she's actually alive this whole time? My real biological mom. Yes, she has to be at my wedding. I need to have her there.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll just stay at home like the little faker that I am.
This is perfect. This is going to be the best wedding ever. Please reach out to my real mom and tell her that I'm so excited to meet her. Get this woman out of my wedding right now. Please, do you think you could come over here and deal with this for me? I promise that you'll be my real mom from now on, but just come and help me.
And I was just about to turn on my favorite show while I sit down for lunch. What is it, Emma? What can your fake mother do for you today?
You might be a fake mom, but you're better than this horrible lady. She's completely ruining my wedding right now. I've never met anyone like her. She's awful. I can't believe that we're actually related.
Ruining your wedding? But I thought that you wanted Sadie to be there for you on this day.
Well, she showed up to the wedding and immediately grabbed a bottle of wine for herself and was just drinking it out of the bottle. That was a while ago, and now she's completely wasted. And she's just making a total mess of herself and my wedding. I tried to get her to meet my husband, and she just told him to meet him in the bathrooms in an hour. It totally ruined the whole mood for the day. Even when I tried to laugh it off and tell everyone she was joking, it was too late. And then she just started cursing at my husband's parents. Then she said that they'd all be family from now on and that she wanted them to send her a lifetime supply of wine.
Wow, well, it sounds like she was just making a fool of herself in front of everyone.
Then she tried to get all buddy-buddy with my future mother-in-law and started asking her all these perverted questions. Everyone was just watching in horror as my mom went from person to person saying horrible, vile things.
Wow, she really didn't hold back at all, did she?
And Dad didn't even do anything either. He just sat back and watched as it all happened. He just looked at me and told me that this is what I was asking for by insisting she come. The whole day was completely ruined.
Well, I have to agree with your father on this one. I knew that it wouldn't be a good thing if your mother showed up to your wedding.
How did it all come to this?
But don't forget that you were the one that said that you didn't want me there, so I'm not about to go and put out that fire for you. This is the wedding you wanted, like it or not. Maybe just think of it as a comedy show and you can feel a bit better about it.
What are you talking about? This isn't what I wanted for my wedding at all. How am I supposed to enjoy the day like this? My husband won't look me in the eyes anymore.
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's my place as your fake mother to say anything. So I'll just sit here and watch my shows now if you don't mind.
Oh man, my head is just pounding. I think I might have just a little too much to drink yesterday because I don't remember the wedding at all. But the venue handed me the bill because I apparently broke a bunch of stuff.
You really made a mess of it yesterday, or so I heard. According to Emma, you were quite the sight at the wedding. But I would pay that bill because it is very real.
Are you kidding me? This bill is for $30,000. I don't have that kind of money. You should pay it instead.
And just why should I have to? I didn't have anything to do with the wedding.
Well, isn't that just sad? So you really didn't show up to the wedding at all. I was really meant to take your place there? That's hilarious. But if that's the case, then you should pay for it then.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't care if you don't get it. Just pay the money. You're Emma's mom too, so you need to take responsibility for what her real mom did.
I'm afraid that I'm no longer Emma's mom. I decided to cut her out of my life entirely. You're gonna have to take responsibility for your actions.
What do you mean you cut her off out of your life?
I mean that I spent decades of my life raising her only for her to treat me like I wasn't real. I talked to her father and he agreed it was probably best. So anyways, this is all your problem to deal with.
But I can't pay this much money. Besides, I still haven't gotten any of Emma's wedding money.
If you want to negotiate that, you're gonna have to speak with Emma yourself. I'm sure she'll listen to what you have to say since you're her real mother.
You have to do something. My wedding was cancelled. My fiancé said that he couldn't marry me, and both his parents said that I could never be part of their family.
Oh, and you were so close too. Oh well.
My life is just one failure after the next. First, my proposal wasn't chosen. Now I've lost my fiancé, and I'm so embarrassed that I'll never be able to show my face at work again.
What do you mean by that?
Carly, I'm so sorry for calling you my fake mom. I realize now that you're the only mother I've ever had, so please, can you help me buy all these cancellation fees for the wedding?
Wow, you really just dove into asking for money, didn't you?
Please. My work isn't going so well, and I was just taking out my anger on those around me. I really do think of you as my mom. I'm glad that we all live together.
Well, that's not going to last for much longer since your father sold the house.
Wait, what?
Yep, we talked it out and we decided to cut you off entirely. And though we've been in this house for many years, it's time that we leave it behind. We've already signed all the papers and sealed the deal.
You have got to be kidding me!
No, it's the truth. You have until the end of the day to pack up your things. The real estate people are coming to inspect the house this weekend.
But then where are you and Dad going to live? I want to stay with you two.
I'm not going to tell you that because we never want to see you again.
You can't be serious.
So thank you for living with your fake mother up until now, but you can be free and live your real life now. After that, we threw all of Emma's things outside the house for her to sort through and drove off to live in our new home. I heard that Emma quit her job and moved into a tiny apartment where she's living now. She tried asking around to friends and family about where Father and I had moved to, but they kept our secret for us and no one ever told her. As for Sadie, she was forced to pay for the damages she's caused, and I heard she ended up having to borrow from some pretty shady people to pay it back.